This Klay Thompson and the Golden State Warriors situation is the most intriguing storyline of the NBA offseason. Klay was obviously a massive part of their dynasty, winning 4 championships. He established himself as one of the greatest shooters in NBA history with Golden State, but according to all the reports, it seems like they are destined for a breakup this offseason. Someone from The Athletic, I think his name's Anthony Slater, reported that even if Klay Thompson gets a decent contract offer from the Warriors, he would still leave due to built-up friction and just wanting a fresh start. And you can't blame the guy. Last season was difficult for Klay Thompson. He got benched. He had a down year for his standards, and it just doesn't seem like he fits on the Warriors anymore. They owe it to Steph Curry to build a contender, and bringing back Klay Thompson, bringing back the same team from last year, that's not a good team. They finished 10th in the West last year. You owe it to Steph Curry to build a contender in his final years, and bringing back Klay Thompson, you wouldn't build a contender at all by bringing him back. So with Klay Thompson and the Warriors destined for a breakup, let's go through some teams that are interested in Klay. I think all of these teams I have on this list are interested in Klay when it comes to fit, and they have a lot of cap space. So let's go through them. The first one and the most recent one are the Denver Nuggets. This is per The Athletic. If Kentavious Caldwell-Pope leaves the Nuggets, they view Klay Thompson as a guy who could be a replacement. Obviously, Klay Thompson with Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic would be an incredible fit offensively. That Jokic and Murray pick and roll is already unstoppable. If you add Klay Thompson on the perimeter, who can hit 40% of his threes, they just become even more unstoppable. But I don't like this fit defensively because Jokic is not the best defender. Murray is not a good defender. Michael Porter Jr. has improved defensively. He is not an elite defender by any means. And then Klay Thompson has steadily declined on the defensive end. Aaron Gordon is a good defender, but most of that lineup are not good defenders, which in today's NBA you need 3-and-D guys, and Klay Thompson's not really a 3-and-D guy anymore. So defensively, it's a questionable fit, but offensively, that is scary. If Klay Thompson goes to the Nuggets, they could be unstoppable offensively. And then similarly, the Western Conference champions, the Dallas Mavericks, per Steinwein, are interested in Klay Thompson. They just traded Tim Hardaway Jr. today, so they freed up some cap space to potentially go out and get Klay Thompson. And like Denver, offensively, it would be unstoppable with Klay, Kyrie, and Luka. That's unstoppable. You're not stopping that. But again, defensively, I just don't see a great defensive fit there. Klay is, as we said, not a great defender anymore. Kyrie's never been a great defender. And then we saw in the finals, Luka is not a great defender. He is an awful defender. He needs to improve on that end of the floor. So defensively, it doesn't really make sense. But if Klay went to either of these teams, oh my goodness, the offense would be unstoppable. And then here are two teams who were in the playoffs last year, but were first-round exits and have cap space this offseason. The Orlando Magic and the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, the Magic are like the first team that was really interested in Klay Thompson after he unfollowed the Warriors on Instagram. Klay on the Magic would be a perfect fit on both ways. Offensively, he'd be their second scorer. Paulo Banchero would obviously be the first scorer. He'd get most of the shots out of the backcourt. He would get a big contract because they have the cap space, as I said. And then defensively, Jalen Suggs had a very underrated season last year. He made an all-defensive team. He's one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. Klay would not have to worry defensively if he went to Orlando because Jalen Suggs is brilliant on the defensive end. So Klay on the Magic would check all the boxes, in my opinion. Contract, he would get as many shots as he wants, and then defensively with Jalen Suggs, it's not a big problem if they have Klay Thompson playing big minutes there because, as I said, Jalen Suggs is just that good defensively. And then the Philadelphia 76ers, they missed out on OG Anunoby. They could go get Paul George, but how likely is that? They have a lot of cap space, and I think Klay Thompson would be a pretty good fit offensively for the 76ers, but again, defensively, with Maxey, that backcourt is not great defensively, but Embiid is a great rim protector. And Philly has a lot of cap space to where they could go pay Klay, and they can go get some other guys who can defend well on the perimeter. So just because Klay goes to the 76ers doesn't mean they're done spending money, making moves, and improving the roster. So if I had to make an official prediction of where Klay Thompson will land, I would go with the Philadelphia 76ers. I think they're going to be desperate after missing out on OG Anunoby and probably Paul George. And they're going to want to spend their money. Klay Thompson would be their third star, terrific shooter, and they would still have cap space to go out and make moves after signing Klay Thompson to a deal that'd be around 20 to 25 million. Maybe it will be closer to 30 even, but I think Klay is destined for a 20 to 25 million dollar a year contract. So I think Klay on Philly would be a great offensive fit, obviously, but unlike Dallas and Denver, Philadelphia could still go make other moves because they have a shit ton of cap space. So I really like Klay on the Magic. I think that's the best fit for him. But if I was a betting man, I think he goes to Philly, he goes to the Eastern Conference, and he tries to win a championship in the city of brotherly.